From disaster to relief. From dependency to self-reliance. Oxfam America is part of a global network that helps local communities in more than 100 countries fight poverty and respond to humanitarian emergencies. When disaster strikes, Oxfam provides immediate assistance to ease the suffering. But when the headlines fade, Oxfam stays behind, working with communities long-term so that they can become self-sufficient. Oxfam's approach is comprehensive, helping people understand their rights, build new skills, and tackle the policies that keep poverty in place. In this film, we look at two very different places, the heartland of the United States and the highlands of Ethiopia, where Oxfam is working with communities to change the rules that keep people poor. Together, we can end poverty. Here in Ethiopia, the birthplace of coffee, Oxfam America is helping coffee farmers find a way out of an ongoing economic crisis. Etsede Jole lives in Negele Gorbitu, a village in the highlands of Ethiopia. In recent years, coffee growers like Etsede were devastated when the price of coffee plunged 70% to a 30-year low. For Etsede and other farmers, the coffee crisis led to an economic meltdown. In response to the crisis, Oxfam launched a global coffee campaign. Abera Tola, Oxfam America Regional Director for the Horn of Africa, led the efforts in Ethiopia.
Oxfam America was having a program with coffee farmers, and our program was related to quality improvement, capacity building of cooperatives and the unions, and helping them form a sort of network.
Through Oxfam's efforts, farmers were given technical training in improving the quality of their coffee. Oxfam also helped them find ways to sell their coffee directly to the international market. But the benefits of Oxfam's coffee campaign extend beyond improving the economic standing of the individual growers. The entire community reaps the rewards.
Now our farmers, as a result of profit that they got, they started to invest in poverty reduction activities like elementary schools, roads, clinics. They started already investing in this.
The coffee campaign fits into a larger Oxfam strategy to make trade fair. The goal is to change unfair trade rules that favor rich countries and threaten the livelihoods of small farmers, not just in developing countries, but in the United States as well. Here in the soybean and cornfields of the Midwest, small farmers are threatened by policies that favor the largest producers.
I'm Mike Korth. I'm a farmer from extreme northeast Nebraska. I've been farming for over 30 years now. You have to understand I work all year long to get this harvest, and I'd hate to lose it due to a storm. Possibly the best crop I've ever had. But it's also just about the worst price I've ever had. My father, the first year he farmed, he received $2.45 a bushel for his corn. And his corn today is worth $1.40. The biggest problem that we have is unlimited farm subsidy payments.
Every year, the United States government gives producers of wheat, corn, cotton, rice, and soybeans billions of dollars in taxpayer money. The payments are made based on the amount of crops grown. So the bigger the farm, the higher the subsidy. Subsidies trigger overproduction and the dumping of commodities on the world market. It's a system that drives small farmers out of business, both in developing countries and in the United States.
Them big operations don't have to have government subsidies to stay afloat.
Mike and his neighbors have been organizing to get the U.S. Congress to put a cap on these misguided subsidy payments.
I know a lot of people who should still be here doing what we're doing, but they're not anymore because there just isn't room for them, and a lot of that has to do with government policy.
The farm program was sold to the American public by saying we're going to do this to save the family farm. And in essence, what it is doing is helping their exit out because there's no limits and there's no checks and balances. Now the problem is, how do we get out of the mess that we're in?
To change the policies that threaten small farmers both here and abroad, Oxfam has launched a campaign to raise public awareness of agricultural issues.
As a group, I think you're probably pretty aware of a lot of issues around fair trade. A lot of times there are forces in this world that maybe don't move as rapidly as a tsunami, but yet can affect millions of lives every day, and in the long run actually create a lot much more damage, displacement, starvation, and hunger than a tsunami does. And those are the kinds of events that are a result of the kind of systems that we put in place as people. And one of those systems is the way we exchange goods in this world. At Oxfam, we want to try to get that message that our lives are connected and that it's important for us to teach, to educate, to advocate, and also to work for change.
Is this farm bill really opening up a moment that we can actually make some change with these policies?
Your voice counts. Your voice is one that we can add to other voices, and that as you donate or as you volunteer, you're a real part of our success and our ability to make things happen and to improve the lives of people.
Building on public momentum, Oxfam is taking the agricultural campaign to the halls of Congress.
We need to make that investment politically because next year is the rewrite of the Farm Bill. And what I'm pointing out is that we need a coalition of small farmers, small businesses, small communities.
Oxfam America does not take government funding, and we think that's important because when we come to influence policy, whether it be in Congress or with the administration, we think it just gives credibility and gives kind of power to our message.
And essentially, squeaky wheel gets the grease. So if you're not hearing from somebody back home, it's not important. Which is where Oxfam comes in, because you can help develop that message.
That's right.
And your knowledge about the governance structure here allows you to know where that message needs to be delivered.
And we're not the problem.
From the United States to Ethiopia, Oxfam America is helping change the rules that keep poverty in place. At Oxfam, we believe people everywhere deserve food, water, shelter, and a voice in decisions that affect them. Ending poverty is a goal we can reach by raising money and by raising our voices, by changing policies, and by changing lives. Please join us. Together, we can end poverty.